we hit our 50th lecture?
Okay, here we go. The video's running. So we're going to talk about the quadratic formula today, in particular how to use it. We already have used the completing the square method to derive this formula based on the quadratic equation. This formula is called the quadratic formula. This formula is called the quadratic equation. See the difference? This one says x equals. This one says y equals. This is every quadratic equation has every aspect of this in it. It might have b is 0, so you might not see it. You might just say, y is equal to 2x squared plus 5. Then you know it is b is 0, right? Or it might have y is equal to 2x squared plus 4x and no c. C would be 0. Or you might see all three, right? But regardless, every quadratic equation will have every part of this in it, technically, right? But that is y equals. The quadratic formula is x equals. The quadratic formula, the only thing it's telling you is where the parabola touches the x-axis, if indeed it does touch the x-axis. It could totally touch the axis nowhere, meaning it could be like this. It's still a parabola, but it doesn't touch the quadratic, it doesn't touch the x-axis. And the reason why, you guys remember why? What would make it not touch the x-axis? What would make, that would be considered a no solution. What makes you say no solution?
Square root of a negative.
A square root of a negative. So if this total thing, b squared minus 4ac, turns out to be negative.
That is negative though, like that.
Well, no, b squared is positive.
Yeah,
Minus
4 is
-4ac.
negative. Negative 4.
But we're not. It's the final answer when you do all that. When you square b and then subtract 4 times a times c. If that answer is negative, then there's no solution. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And now, if it came down like this, let's say, I'm going to talk about this another day. But if what was under the square root sign was 0. Right? Came out to be 16 minus 16, and so it would be 0. Think about it. You've got negative b over 2a, and you're adding 0, and you're subtracting 0. Meaning, it's basically negative b over 2a, right? So we only have one answer. Look at this. It would touch in just one place. And then, if this number was positive, it would touch in 2 places, and you would have 2 answers. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. But the key is to just understand that plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac can actually tell you a lot of information very, very quickly. And I actually recommend that you do that part of the equation right away and get it over with, right? So if I gave you any equation at all, I could just make one up. I don't have to go looking on a book to see, well, is it solvable or whatever. I don't care. I'm going to just try one. If let's say we do y is equal to 2x squared plus 8x minus 3. I have no idea whether that can be factored or not. Well, I could figure it out. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. I don't think it can be, because I can't get an 8 from negative 6, right?
6 and 3, no, never mind.
Okay? So I have to remember my a is what? My a is 2, right? My b is what? 8. And my c is what?
3.
Negative 3. That negative is important, okay? So here we go. We've got x equals negative b. So b is positive 8, so it's going to be negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 squared. And I'm okay with just doing 8 squared right away, which is what?
64.
Okay, 64. But this part, I really strongly recommend you do this. Do not do this part in your head. This is where everybody makes a mistake, right here. Okay, everybody.
Even you, Gary?
Yes.
Oh
If
my
I do
God.
this in my head, I make mistakes.
What about a robot?
Minus 4, parenthesis, make sure you write this, parenthesis a, which is 2, and then parenthesis c, which is negative 3. All right, all over 2 times a. 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to just do that in my head. But don't do this part in your head. This is where everybody screws up. If you want the shortcuts, feel free. 8 squared is 64. 2 times a is 4 in this case, right? But don't do the shortcut on this. Write it out with parentheses. The reason why you want the parentheses is because some of them are going to be negative, right? Now let's think about this. Let's figure out just this right now. Let's figure out the square root of 64 minus 4 times 2 times negative 3. Let's just figure that out so we know what to put in there when we simplify. All right, we know 64. What is negative times a positive is?
Negative.
Negative. So negative times a negative is?
Positive.
Right, so if I see 2 negatives in this whole thing, from this through this, then it's positive. You with me? Right? So I know now it's 64 plus, because negative times negative is positive. You with me? You get it? If that had not been a negative there, I would have said negative. If all of them were negative, an odd number of negatives, it's going to stay negative. Does it make sense? But an even number of negatives is going to give you a positive. So here we go. We've got 64 plus. So immediately I know that the number underneath the square root sign is not going to be a negative. You agree with me? It's got to be, because I've got a positive number and I'm adding another thing. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24, right? So suddenly that 24 plus, okay, that's 88, am I right? So
Yeah.
square root of 88. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to rewrite this. X is equal to negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 88 over 4. Now, with quadratic formula, when you're doing it, usually you come down to an actual decimal answer. So I'm going to get my calculator, and I'm going to figure out what is the square root of 88. 88 square root is approximately 9.38. I'll just write that. Okay? So here we go. I've got 2 answers. I've got x is equal to negative 8 plus 9.38 divided by 4, or x is equal to negative 8 minus 9.38 divided by 4. Okay? So I just use my calculator. I figure out what is this? Negative 8. I got negative 8. Okay, well I'm going to just do this. 9.38 minus 8. 9.38 minus 8 is equal to 1.38. 1.38 all over 4. So I'm going to just divide that by 4. And my answer is 0.345. Okay? And then the next one, I'm going to do negative, okay, since the signs are the same, I know I'm just going to add the numbers, right? And keep the sign. So I know it's going to be negative 9 plus 8 is 17, so it's negative 17.38 divided by 4. So I'm just going to figure that out. 17, I know it's going to be negative. In my calculator, I personally don't enter my negative. I just write my negative there.
Yeah.
And then I just do 17.38 divided by 4. 17.38 divided by 4 equals negative 4.345. All right? So those are my solutions. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, so now
That's the final answer?
that's the final answer. Right. Okay. So
Gary.
that's our first. So you have 2 answers, right? So x could either be this or this. So I immediately know that with I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? 4. I know that it's going to be here. The parabola is going to cross around at 0.345 and negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.3 somewhere around here. Right? I know it's going to cross somewhere around there. Is it going to be a smiley face or is it going to be a frowny face?
Frowny face.
A is positive, happy,
Oh, it's a positive.
right?
A happy face.
Yeah, but A is the only thing. that negative doesn't mean anything. It's the A, the sign of the A. If A is positive, it's happy, it's thinking happy thoughts. Right? So it's going to be, so I know my parabola is going to be somewhere, something like that. I don't know exactly. I'd have to use axis and symmetry formula to find my vertex, right? If I wanted to know where the vertex was. Yes. Jake.
Gary,
Yes.
guess what?
What?
No. This?
No.
Easy.
I'm going to get the duct tape.
All right. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's just try one more, and I'm going to set you free, okay? To do some on your own.
Look,
I'm
Gary,
so awesome,
Two.
aren't I?
No, you're really not.
Okay, how about we just get
All
your
right.
states one, Jake?
So y is equal to 2x squared plus 2x
Okay. I've already done it, okay.
With you.
Plus
This is perfect.
8. Okay, here we go. What is A?
Yeah.
A is a number.
Holy.
Thank you.
A
It's
is 2. B is 2. C is 8. So I immediately go x is equal to negative b, so 2 is positive, so it's negative 2, plus or minus the square root of 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times 2 times 8,
Well, Gary, you better slow down.
all over
Take a chill pill,
2 times 2 is 4. Right? You with me?
Wait, hold
Right.
on.
I'll wait while you guys write that down. All I did was plug it all in.
You're going too fast, Gary.
Am I? I can go slower.
Whoa. Thank you, Gary. Really just a little. You're like the best math teacher
So
in
it's
the history of math.
x is equal to negative b. B is 2, so negative 2, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a, 2 times 2, which is 4. All right? So the first thing I do, and I often do this off to the side,
Oh, wait.
I just do 4 minus 4 times 2 times 8. And I'm gonna see what I get. I get 4 minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64, right?
64.
All right, this is the square root of this. What is that going to be? It's a negative.
Oh my gosh, no.
Do I care that it's negative 60?
No.
I don't care. All I care is that it's negative. Does that make sense? The minute I see, oh wait, I'm taking a huge number away from a little number, this is negative, immediately I write no solution. And I'm done,
Don't even give him a chance.
right? That's why I figure out that first, because everything depends on that. If it's positive, I'll keep going. If it's 0, I'll keep going. But if it's negative, I'll say no solution, okay?
Okay.
Make sense?
All questions on the first equal no solution.
I hope so. I hope so, but it might not be that way.
Wait, Gary, you just make it up as
Sorry.
you go along?
No, I actually copied somebody else's homework.
Gary,
Wait, how is it negative
All right.
64?
Gary, you've already infringed someone else's trick.
It's minus, and then 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64.
Yes.
Yes, right?
I know 8 times 8 is 64. I thought I did 2 times 8, then times 4. I don't know.